So, in preparation for our camping trip in June, I've done a few more quick things to make this usable. I've got a tension rod here for the shower curtain. I will eventually build a custom copper one to go with our copper theme everywhere. But for now, this let me install a simple shower curtain. So our shower is usable. Clearly not done. As you can see down here, the curb is not yet complete. That will be coated in a piece of copper sheet metal to let the water run back. But the shower curtain, I think, is the perfect length, and I'm definitely a fan of the hookless style. It is, I think, way too wide for this little opening here. Lots of pleating, more than is necessary, but we can indeed cut it down pretty simply. So it shall work for our camping this summer, and we can cut it after the first trip. Another thing that I did was add a caddy for soap and shampoo and such. This one is designed to hang from a shower head, but as you can see with our custom corner mounted copper shower head, that's not really practical. I had considered installing it over here in this nice open area tucked in the corner, but my early ideas were drilling holes through the tile into the wood and attaching it through that. I don't like the idea of more holes in what is a waterproof surface, so for now I hung it down here. It is hooked around the attachments to the fittings coming through the wall. Now, just necessitated removing the shower temporarily, which was not a huge deal. Unfortunately, these suction cups down here that are supposed to hold it against the wall really suck. Well, or don't, as it may be. So I may use some sort of adhesive, because this is a motorhome. Traveling down the road, that is probably going to be annoying. I may down the road choose to use adhesive of some kind to attach it up higher on the wall so that it is less likely to be a hindrance. This is a small shower and space is at a premium, but that is kind of true everywhere. So for now it should work, and we can adapt as we go. But I don't know if it comes across on the video, it is a nice shiny copper that actually matches the piping really well. The light is much duller down here, unfortunately. These lights aren't as bright as I had hoped. But again, for now, they'll work. And we have other options that we can always do. The other big thing, and this one I'm most excited about, is a brand new mattress, obviously. Packaging and such, I've got a lot of cleanup to do. There's parts and tools and supplies piled and packed in all the corners. But this is a brand new Zinus, I don't know how you say it, Zinus mattress. We happen to love their mattresses. We have one at home. We had one in our last camper that's actually now my son's mattress. And we went with a 12-inch version of their green tea mattress for this. And I just put it in and put a waterproof cover on it. And it is very nice. Looking forward to camping, with heavy air quotes, in June on this mattress. Still got lots of work to do in here. There's some bare steel that needs insulating and wall covering. Probably going to use the wood that matches up front instead of trying to match this vinyl leather-like stuff. I have some lights that I want to install back here, but I've got to figure out where I want to run the wiring. I'll probably put a reading light. I'm going to assume this will be the head of the bed, as there's an outlet over here and storage under here, plus a convenient shelf for the ever-present cellular devices. So that's the progress up here. All right, so when I tested my water system, I had 3 leaks, all 3 of which were from things that had been reused. There was a one-way valve right in here that I reused. Turns out it didn't seal. So this is actually a one-way valve, a new one. I bought a couple with different arrangements, but I got one in there and I went ahead and added a ball valve. This is the city water inlet. So I can hook up a hose to this fitting and take the cap out and pressurize the system directly from a water source. And I put the ball valve in so that if this ever leaks from the one-way check valve, I can just close the ball valve and not have to worry about it. The other leak, hiding back here, was where that hose is coming out of the bottom of the tank. It's a 1/2-inch barb, and I had stuck it on a 1/2-inch PEX T, and it wasn't tight enough, and clamping it down did not seal it. It was dripping. So I pulled that out. I put a new piece of hose in, and I have a 1/2-inch barb screwed into a 1/2-inch adapter for PEX. So it is hopefully all watertight now. I don't have any water with me to fill it up and check, but I will be doing that probably next Monday. The third leak was actually a faucet, the bathroom faucet, which is the only original plumbing left fixture-wise, and it's getting replaced anyway. I was just going to use it for this camping trip and the next, so I'm just going to leave it turned off underneath until I have time to replace the faucet. I also installed, all I had to do is plug it in, but I installed a propane detector. This is a propane tank. This is electronics. They will eventually be separated, and this is actually going away in favor of the small swappable 20-pounders. I'll do 3 or 4 of those guys in here in a box, but this is not a sealed compartment, and there are contactors up here, the voltage regulator, and old school contactors that make way more sparks than a solid state inverter charger. So not terribly worried. I will leave the bay cracked open for extra ventilation while in use until I replace this and build a case. But it's been here since 1985, and all of that electronics up there has been there since 1985. So not too terribly worried. The only other thing I've done is replace a ground cable. I took it out for a drive and had trouble with it starting. The batteries, which live under here, I moved them. They were actually up front in that other box, and I relocated them back here to be much closer to the engine, and I did not replace the ground cable, and it actually worked its way loose, but I went ahead and built a new one out of 4/0 welding wire and bolted it to where the battery is ground. So fire's right up now, and we are that much closer to going camping.